On my kicker tonight, it was agonizing but not entirely surprising to read about a deputy director at the Kenya Rural Roads Authority, KERA, that went on a head-spinning property buying spree ahead of the retirement of the old 1,000 Kenya shillings notes in 2019. A petition by the Assets Recovery Body that says that in a space of just 4 months, one civil servant bought 23 apartments worth 279 million shillings in Kileleshwa and Ruaka, apparently in time to beat the September 30th deadline set by the central bank to retire the 1,000 shillings note. It would be remembered that the old note was associated with illegal financial dealings, and so the reason to retire it. But revelations of a petition by the Assets Recovery Authority should get Kenyans asking, how many more public or civil servants joined the mad rush to spend or convert what should clearly be assumed illegally acquired cash? And how much of the properties Kenyans see today is a product of such questionable acquisition by public servants? Well, the questions are many, but the illustrations are all over the place of the painful link between our taxes, corruption, and thieving public servants. Yet, these revelations come as Kenyans rush to beat the deadline next week of filing their tax returns. If, as the Asset Recovery Agency believes, a single civil servant, her relatives, and proxies blew more than 250 million shillings on apartments alone, every upright Kenyan taxpayer should start demanding more from those that should account for the taxes collected. It is time to redraw the red moral line and confront a retrogressive culture that is increasingly mainstreaming looting of public resources as the fastest and easiest path to wealth in Kenya. But Kenyans can only draw the red line if they appreciate the very direct link between their taxes and the billions lost to corrupt public officials every year. The corruption timeline in Kenya has particularly been brazen and punishing since 2013. Seemingly, it has been a season of liberalized corruption. We launched the open season in 2013 with the 561 million shillings National Cereals and Produce Board scandal and the 100 million shillings hire of a luxury jet, infamously nicknamed the Hustler's Jet. Then followed the 24 billion shillings school laptop tender and the 8 billion current land saga. And as if to mock any talk of fighting corruption, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC itself, got embroiled in a 2.6 billion corruption saga. Then followed the 791 million shillings National Youth Service NYS scandal that saw the anti-corruption agency EACC, while still conducting investigations, swiftly clearing former Devolution Secretary Anne Waiguru of any wrongdoing. Investigations ended up producing tales of NYS cash carried in sacks and a hairdresser's rags to riches story. The Youth Fund followed with a 180 million shilling scandal that saw board chairman Bruce Odhiambo resigning. Then came the Rio Olympics scam that saw a cabinet secretary redeployed as ambassador, then charged in court. In 2016, the Auditor General declared that 215 billion shillings from Eurobond funds could not be accounted for 2 years after the government claimed the money has been allocated to ministries. Then the NSSF 1.6 billion shares scandal and the 5 billion shillings Afi House scandal and a mid-season 1.9 billion shillings maize scandal at NCPB. Not forgetting the 1.5 billion Ruaraka land saga, the 647 million shillings at Kenya Pipeline, and another season 9 billion headliner by regular plunder house, the NYS. In 2019, an American envoy in Nairobi, estimated the cost of corruption at 800 billion shillings annually. That is literally a third of the current national budget. Back to the Asset Recovery Agency revelations, if you miss or if you are bored with these numbing billions, just imagine those apartments next door. That is my kicker.